Hi everyone. One of the most important things I can do during my period as chairman of City Hindus Network is to magnify and amplify the voice of other City Hindus. And one way in which I want to do that is teach people how to produce their own content on matters which are important to them, but also leverage other networks and connections they might have, and also teach them how to promote that voice. Okay, so how do we create the content? How do we leverage that content? How do we market that content? And that's what I want to teach you in this very short video. What I'm going to take you through is my experiences both as a presenter on Bloomberg TV, but also doing the newspaper reviews to some 300 million people now on the BBC. So I've got credentials in this, and I want to give you a short snippet of how to do it so you can become basically a TV presenter and produce great content for City Hindus, but in whatever other ways you might want. Let's get the first thing. Let's look at the presenter themselves, i.e. you, okay? Well, it's important to practice. You might not be a natural, so practice just at home without the camera on and so on. Be relaxed. I know it sounds odd. All of a sudden you switch a camera on and people are somebody else. They're not themselves anymore. Listen to the sound of my voice. Listen to my hand gestures. Look at them. Look at my hand gestures. Listen to the tone, the pitch, the variation. Do not bore the audience with a monotone, hello, well, I'm really sorry, I'm a boring person, I'm El Mafad. Feel free to joke if you're quick-witted enough. Okay, then comes the topic. The topic you got to make interesting. What would you want to listen to? The interviewee that you choose for this has to be preferably an interesting person. Otherwise, you're going to need more energy from your side in order to make up for the boring interviewee you might have. And listen, I do finance broadcasts. I did, like I said, show on Bloomberg TV for 5 years. Believe me, we used to have some rather dull people talking about macroeconomics. But if you've got passion for your subject, energy for your subject, that will help tremendously. Try and be original. I had a rule when I was on Bloomberg. If I couldn't say something original, I wouldn't go on air. It was as simple as that. Try and be original. Try and give that insight. We don't just want people to have a voice for the sake of it. How many times we heard people who just like the sound of their own voice, as it were? And unless you've got something insightful and original, so that's going to require more thought. Okay, if you're very quick-witted, it won't require more thought. Depends where you are on all of that. I can't make you more interesting, more insightful, more original, but there are tools and techniques you can use. You can get angry at a topic and work out what it is that's making you angry, what's making you frustrated, okay, on virtually anything, right? I could get angry about the rate of interest rates. So trust me, there's topics out there you could get angry about. But remember, if you're doing it for City Hindus Network, I'd really like to keep it relevant to my audience of people from the city and people with an interest in Hinduism, please. Okay? Doesn't have to be hardcore. Make sure you want a big audience. Think as if you were on ITV, but your audience was City Hindus, right? So we want to make it mainstream as well and not just parochial, not just too niche. Now, tools. When you're inviting people to sign up, calendars are a pain, aren't they? Look at a tool called Calendly. I love it to schedule these calls. Then when you're doing the interview, look, COVID or no COVID, the easiest way in order to do a TV broadcast nowadays, and you see it on TV, is through Zoom or similar things like Microsoft Teams. Now, Zoom's easy because it will record. Try and keep the show to about 15 minutes. You're going to have a bit of a blurb beforehand and a bit of a chat afterwards, but in between you keep it to 15 minutes. I want you to look at the camera, please. Eye level contact with the camera. So I don't want a laptop where you're going like this. Nobody needs to see these double chins. All right. Eye level camera. What kind of cameras? I happen to use Logitech. You can get it from Amazon. I don't want any fake backgrounds, right? As if you're on holiday at some beach or you're sitting in the middle of a library. It's not authentic. And we all know authenticity counts, and no false backgrounds, please. Okay. People appreciate that even if you're in your bathroom doing it, all right, you can give it a special title. Lighting, again, Amazon, there's all these kind of lights you can get your hands on. That will help just add a bit of light. I mean, actually, I've not actually bothered with this one, getting it all perfect. There's also microphones. You could use the camera microphone. There's also different types of microphones if you want to go to that effort. Now, you might already be thinking, oh, God, I can't be bothered. Fine. If you can't be bothered, it's not for you. Okay. Then you want to do an invite, you want to promote it, look at Canva. There's a lot of free tools on there for designing things. I like templates, I like copying templates. You'll want to edit the video. Once you've recorded it, maybe at the start you got something wrong, maybe at the end. Now try and keep the 15 minutes you're going to do the video, and try and keep it to 15 minutes. Nobody watches shows for more than that. Okay, try and keep that as if live. So record as if live. Okay, so you don't have to edit in between, because that's very difficult. So you can just chop and change in the middle. I'm not going to teach you how to use Camtasia. There's other tools. There's a website called Google. Okay, that'll give you alternatives to Camtasia. In actual fact, on a serious note, there's a company called I think it's called Capterra, and what it does, so Cap and Terra as in the earth, Capterra, it reviews all the best software and everything, and it's rather good. So you could put in Camtasia in there and other things, chop and change. But I'd really like you to have a bumper intro. What the hell's a bumper intro? Well, it adds a degree of professionalism. I'll give you an example. This is one of our broadcasts on YouTube. This is a bumper we've had done for us. Okay, if you can have a bumper intro. Now, for City Hindus Network, we'll provide you our City Hindus Network bumper intro. Then what you do is you just slot it into Camtasia, play around with Camtasia or whichever editing software you have, play around with it, and put it in there. And it'll show you how do you put in to editing software a little bumper, and then you slot in the actual video of your event. You play around with the dimensions and the sizes. I'm not going to teach you how to do all of that. You're intelligent people. You can look on those websites on Camtasia how to do it. And then you produce it. Produce it into MP4. Okay. Simple as that. And upload it onto Google Drive or somewhere. But beyond that, you'll want to promote it. We'll promote it on City Hindus Network. Okay. For you. It'll become your event. It might be somebody at the UN you want to interview. Reach out to people, you know, interesting people. Like I said, interviewees of a high caliber that you want to do it. The reason we're asking you to do this through City Hindus is because that will give you an additional platform to stand on. It's no longer just Joe Blogs or, you know, Jugshit, whatever, Blogjit. It is, or Alpesh Patel or whatever. It's no longer Joe Blogs just going out to people saying, I'd like to interview. It is part of a series on City Hindus Network as well. And as I said, of topics of interest, people high ranking, people well above the level that you would normally speak to, because that's better for you and it's better for your audience. They want to hear people of an incredibly high caliber as well they wouldn't normally have access to. So it gives a unique selling proposition to your program, and that means reach. Okay, don't come along and say, oh, can't find somebody interesting. Can you introduce me to Bill Gates or Prince Charles, please, Alpesh? Doesn't work like that. You go out and connect and contact with them. Use a bit of gumption, a bit of hustle. Okay, so then you want to promote it on YouTube as well as our City Hindu channels. You'll want YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. Now, Medium is always good place to host things, and Quora. If you don't know what Quora is, look it up. Okay, it's where you can answer people's questions and you could embed the video, which always makes it good as well. What I'd also recommend you do is create a little infographic, because most people don't like watching videos, but they're good, but they don't like using them. Yeah, it's either way, get your interviewee to promote it, and also on Canva, create a little infographic of what the key elements were. If you don't know how any of these things look as a finished product, look at the cityhindus.org website and you'll find it there. Upload the video to Google Drive so it's easy for people to find, and of course on YouTube or Vimeo or whatever. Okay, and when you're writing your blurb to promote these things, remember handles and hashtags. If you don't know what handles and hashtags are, get up to speed. You need to know that stuff, okay? Because that will help disseminate it. It'll ensure other people find it. It'll help market it, help increase your follow as well. Handles, hashtags. Don't know how to do it? Look up neilpatel.com. neilpatel.com. He'll teach you everything there is to know about marketing as well. All right, that's a quick summary of how City Hindus can help you get your voice out there. All right, we're of the high standard. We're of a high caliber. So meet those standards that I've mentioned in terms of quality of person that you're interviewing, quality of interview, originality, insight. If you don't have it yet, watch on YouTube and TV the best of the best doing it, and mimic, copy, practice. You'll want this. Okay, you'll need to want this in order to be successful at it. It won't be landed on your lap automatically. People aren't natural TV presenters. It takes practice. Trust me, I was the shyest boy at school. It takes practice. It takes desire. If that's not for you, that's fine. But we want as many people to have these modern skills as possible, because trust me, your employer will appreciate ideas that you might have outside of this within your firm to inspire other people within your company and pull in clients and so on. And it's a great tool to reach out to others as well. Okay, so thank you very much for listening to this, and I hope to be able to see and promote you on City Hindus Network. Thank you.